Hello, people. We meet again. We meet again on this beautiful Thursday. We are here, we are live. And today, we have some big discussions. Some big topics. Well, topic, let's just say for the sake of an argument. Gyokeres versus Havertz versus Jesus. And if you want, you can include also Merino in this equation. Arsenal striker problem. And you would think that problem at striker would be a good thing, right? Because there would be fights for the spot, there would be competition, they would lift each other up, there would be goals and everything. But it's not the case at Arsenal, ironically enough. It's kind of the straight opposite to some degree. And whether you like it or not, it's due to one man. It is due to one man at this club. It is Arteta. No matter how you look at it. People will say it is Gyokeres, people will say this, people will say that, but at the end of the day, it is it is Arteta at the end of the day. Because it's his fault. It's on him that certain things are not working at Arsenal. Certain players are not performing to the standard. And some things are just not clicking. Some things are just not clicking. And unfortunately, it's Gyokeres that's not clicking. And people are very quick to slag Gyokeres off. I'm going to be honest with you. To some degree, I'm not going to lie, Gyokeres doesn't help his cause. That has to be said no matter how you look at it. But at the end of the day, when we signed Gyokeres, that was the hope. That was the hope that Arteta will change his ways. Arteta will change his tactics, his style, his system to allow Gyokeres to be himself. Allow Gyokeres to score goals. Allow Gyokeres to bag, because it's very weird how he comes to Arsenal and almost 100 goal striker in 2 seasons barely can get a shot on target. And that is not because he's misfiring or something like that. It's because he doesn't even get a chance sometimes to get a shot on target. And that now is not a Gyokeres problem. That is Arteta problem. Don't get me wrong, I'm backing Gyokeres all the way. Gyokeres is a good striker. Obviously, he is not the youngest of them all, but hey, it is what it is. At the same time, for Gyokeres to click, it is up to Mikel Arteta to make it happen. It is up to the players to make it happen. And unfortunately, we utilize Gyokeres the same way we would utilize Havertz, Jesus, or even Merino. Right there, up top in the number 9. And it's very evident that Gyokeres, and everyone knew this, doesn't have the same abilities as, for example, as the rest of them has, because he doesn't have the link-up play. He's the man you get in front of goal, he bags a goal. He's the man in open space, when he attacks you with speed, he's a goal at the end of the day. He can hold up play, yes, he can drag defenders out of position. But you don't pay 60 million for a striker who is just going to occupy space, drag defenders away, and let other players do the job. And let's be real, the other players are not even doing the job to begin with. Because the goals are coming really roughly. Very, very rarely we see goals coming on consistent basis, very constantly, and very free-flowingly. Let's just put it that way. It's always a struggle. It's always grinding your teeth. It's always something difficult. And what you like as well, the nuts part is Gyokeres has played quite a few games. The best game we have seen from Gyokeres is 45 minutes against Burnley. That was when he got injured. And besides that, well, nothing. To the very big degree, we have seen almost nothing. Because the team doesn't play on him. They don't give him chances. Like, if Gyokeres was shooting and he was missing the goal, he had the chances. Yes, then it would be pretty much solely on Gyokeres. But looking at this stage at Arsenal, at this current situation, it's very hard to blame Gyokeres. Gyokeres is at fault to some degree, but mostly it is on Mikel Arteta and the players around him. Now, we all know that Mikel Arteta doesn't want a bagsman who's going to bag 40 goals pretty much, and the rest of the players just chip in a tiny bit. Let's just put it that way. He much more prefers spreading the goals around. He has said that, and everything quite contradictory, to be honest, to himself, because he has said he wants to spread the goals around, and the next year he says he doesn't have a bagsman. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we are in this situation where Gyokeres, who actually is out and out striker at this club, a proper number 9, he's not working. He's the only one. Havertz looking better. Jesus is looking better. Goddamn Merino, who first time played striker in his life when he joined Arsenal, is looking better. And that is definitely a topic we need to discuss today. We need to talk about. We need to dissect, let's just put it that way. I need to hear your opinions on this. Whether you're still backing Gyokeres, do you think it's on Mikel? Do you think it's on Gyokeres? Do you think it's on players? On what is going on? Would you rather see Gyokeres at this current situation up top, or Havertz, or Jesus, or even Merino? We need to talk about this. So people, smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, and leave your thoughts down in the live chat so we can discuss them, we can tackle them, and we can go from there. Big up, Hendon. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today. Had to leave Rashid's show, Gooner slagging off. And that's always a thing, isn't it? Big up, G Wills. Arsenal's striker problem is all Arteta. Yeah, 95%. It's all on Mikel Arteta. Let's see how long Jesus stays fit, especially when Arteta's intense training regime takes a toll on his already fragile knees. Yeah, true. Let's see how long Jesus can stay with this squad. But don't worry, Havertz is coming back before Christmas, so we should not be in trouble, should we? Then we have Merino. To some degree, the only proper out-and-out number 9 we have in the team is the fourth choice striker. And he's the fourth choice striker behind players who are not strikers. Like, that is the most insane part in this in this club with this manager, that to some degree makes no sense whatsoever. And this is where also Mikel Arteta's lack of experience shows to a very big level. At Man City, didn't have an out-and-out number 9. And at Arsenal, he has never had out-and-out number 9. He had Golden Boot winning Aubameyang. He put him on the left wing. Fair plays, playing 5 at the back, did the job. He won the FA Cup. Right? Formation, tactics, style, system, he has never used since. Ironically enough. Right? After that, it's been makeshift strikers. It's been false nines. It's been players that actually are not strikers. Up there, and they can do the job, but many, many times when it comes down to finishing touch, they all lack it. They're not there for it. Because in my opinion, right, players like Havertz, Jesus, and all these guys, right, they can do the first part of the job very well. Link-up play, distribution, then they play off a shoulder, get into a scoring chance. The thing is, they cannot finish that chance because their scoring ability, well, is not up to par. Havertz, we have seen him miss from 5 yards out. Just saying. Jesus can come out in an interview, say that scoring goals is not his best attribute, is not his forte. Right? When you look at Gyokeres, it's kind of vice versa. Because Gyokeres doesn't have the link-up play, which kind of stifles Arsenal attack, without allowing him to get in these scoring positions where Jesus and Havertz actually get due to their link-up ability and better technical ability on the ball compared to Gyokeres. So, if you want to have the best of both worlds, right? Link-up play and scoring ability, would not it make sense to play them both together, like in 4-4-2? Maybe 4-2-2, 3-5-2, something like that? Maybe would it be more sense to sign actually a proper number 9 who has it all, like Firmino style number 9, for example, Julian Alvarez? Wouldn't that made more sense? But hey, I digress. That's just thought in my mind. Big up, Tyrell. Big up, Tyrell. Hope you're doing well today, brother. I'm still backing Gyokeres, yeah, but I want to see more of him. 100%. 100%. Interesting that Madueke's second goal was actually decent cross by Zubimendi. The rest of the game, no tight ball was played into the striker like that. The 2 other goals were wonder strikes. Yeah, interesting. But the Martinelli goal, vintage Martinelli, we need to see more of that from him. The goal Madueke scored, well, when was the last time Saka did something like that? Let's be real. Big up, Marlon. Arteta out. Zubimendi was copying Rice's style, basically. Arteta has to adjust, at least when Gyokeres is on the pitch. He has to set up where they can create for him. Sir Alex still told his midfielders, you can't get the ball to our striker, you won't play. Yeah. The thing is, do we actually have that type of midfielder? We have Eze, but pretty much the penny stops there. The line stops there because Odegaard, well, he has had some link-up plays with Gyokeres, but not to extent and degree that we would say, yeah, that's going to constantly work and we're going to get chances. They don't play to him. Odegaard takes too many touches. By the time he actually has taken his 56th touch of the ball in one possession, the chance is gone. The chance is gone. Gyokeres is close. The run Gyokeres has made, well, it's red and it's done and dusted. He's already offside and he cannot get the ball. Saka doesn't create for him. Saka barely can get an assisting game. Barely. Like a few games ago, he got his first assist in a year in Premier League. Martinelli, well, the less said and better. Trossard, that was the only shining hope. And Madueke, well, he was injured, but when he plays, he actually does some things himself. So, overall speaking, Eze is the only one. But how much we have seen Eze and Gyokeres, for example, together? Not that much. Because it's usually one for the other type of situation. Eze comes off, Gyokeres comes on. Gyokeres starts, Eze holds the bench. And whenever they have played together, Eze is on left wing, which doesn't help Gyokeres at all. Let's be real. So it is a big worry. What Gyokeres did for Arsenal already gets him my back. Yeah. The thing is tough. Gyokeres is by far the best player, but not in this system. Exactly. That's why it is on Mikel Arteta. That's why it is on the manager. You would think that manager who gets 15.6 million a year could figure out how to utilize, at least based on the last two seasons, not including this one the hottest strikers in Europe, in the world to some degree. A guy who wins Gerd Muller Award over all the top-rated strikers in the world. You would think he could do that, but he can't. Like, let's be real. Big up Mubarak. Well, for me, I think Gyokeres is the solution, but he is lacking teammates at Arsenal. Yeah. Team doesn't help. They don't play to Gyokeres' strengths. Gyokeres in an interview himself said when he got the award that big thanks goes out to the team because they play to his strengths. Big thanks goes out to the manager because he knew how to utilize him, how to play him in these positions, how to give him these chances, how to help him to basically become a player he is today. Big up Gooner SC. Hope you're doing well. Big up. No one even looks to pass to Gyokeres. Exactly. And that is the big thing. If you sit here and ask me right now, name 5 big chances Gyokeres has had in recent games. During the injury, just now and before he got injured. I'm not gonna lie. I would stop at 2 or 3. I would stop at 3 most likely, maybe 4. Because I cannot even imagine that many chances. Gyokeres has had one good, half against Burnley, and that was before he got injured. It's like they hate him, or it feels that way on purpose. It's not also a coincidence that two big bird signings are being neglected and they're struggling, and Arteta doesn't know how to utilize them. That is another thing. Let's be real. It's not a coincidence. Eze is a number 10, not a left-wing touchline winger. No chance in hell as well. Are there any Latvian teams playing Europe? Nope, this season they didn't qualify. Last year they did, this season they didn't. We had very good chance to qualify this season. However, they balled it, ironically enough. Couldn't take their chances and they fell short. Crystal Palace is playing just down the road from me this evening. Hey, try to sneak in. Okay, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. What's happening by the way, a sidestep on a tiny bit. What's happening in Europa League? Betis won against Dinamo Zagreb. Ferencváros won against Rangers. Okay, cool. PAOK Ludogorets 3-3. Midtjylland beat Genk. Red Star beat Sturm Graz. Stuttgart beat Maccabi 4-1. Nottingham beat Utrecht 2-1. Interesting. Kalimuendo and Igor Jesus scores again. Young Boys beat Lille. Rah. Celta Vigo just scored 1-0 up on Bologna. Fenerbahce 1-0 over Brann. Villa 1-0 up on Basel. Feyenoord losing to Bucharesti Steaua 1-0. Lyon beating Go Ahead Eagles 2-1. And what's happening in Conference League? Nothing special. Rayo Vallecano beat Jagiellonia. Fiorentina beat Dinamo Kiev. AZ Alkmaar beat Drita. Aberdeen doesn't count the goal against Strasbourg, unfortunately for them. Crystal Palace 1-0 up on Shelbourne. That's about it. I'm not gonna lie, that's about it. Let me check something. Coups versus Lausanne, right? Lineups. Coups versus Lausanne. Butler Oyedeji is playing as a midfielder for them. Interesting choice. Very interesting choice, to say the least. Very interesting choice. But anyways, let's get back to the matter at hand. Let's just put it that way. Big up Eros. Mikel music in the building. Big up, big up. Hit the likes, people, and subscribe if you haven't. He dumped his girlfriend, took a pay cut, and what's its face? And his agent as well took a cut. He didn't even get any money almost. Comes to delay for the greatest street like he doesn't exist. Yeah, it's actually nuts. We're supposed to be one whole family. Family! One big whole family. But if you need to change your, what's its face? Wallpaper at home, they won't come. Wine treating Gyokeres like an Arsenal player. Yeah. Big up Nems and thank you. Big up Sheldon. Gyokeres is a brick, always wrestling with defenders. Yeah. But that again, that is partially on himself, but that is also on Mikel Arteta, because that is one of his tasks in this team, to gather as much attention as possible in that middle, so basically it takes more pressure off the wings. And that is another big thing. What Latvian teams do you like? Well, there are only two good teams, and both play in my capital, like RFS and Riga FC, right? So it's a bit different. Gyokeres knows that Arteta won't be here next season, so he'll just bide his time until Arteta gets the sack. Well, that is the hope at the end of the day. For Gyokeres to become good, that is the hope. Because there is no other way Gyokeres is going to succeed at Arsenal unless Arteta leaves. There's no way Yeri is going to succeed at Arsenal until Arteta leaves. Maybe even Martinelli can rise again like a phoenix, basically, if we get a proper manager. There are lots of these questions that need to be answered, because I know, including myself, we're writing off these players, right? At the same time, we have seen how good they can be, right? And at the moment, for the last year or so, they're performing well below their own level. That is the nuts part. Hence why the frustration from the Arsenal fans, well, part of Arsenal fan base. Hence why some of them we want to get sold and everything. Let's be real, because they cannot be as bad. Even Odegaard. For example, I want Odegaard, best case scenario, coming off the bench. Ideal scenario, he's sold, right? But we have seen how good Odegaard can be. 22-23 season, partially 23-24 season. We have seen how good he can be. But right now, for the last year or so, well, he's been a brick. Like, let's be real. And put your agenda aside, he is not that bad as he is showing for the last year or so. Same goes to Martinelli. Same goes for Bukayo Saka. That could be due to injuries and everything, but hey, it is what it is. Quite a few of players are in this spot at the moment. Yeah, Jesus did good. Jesus in those 25 minutes did better than Gyokeres has done in the last few games. Again, Eros is laughing. Oh, bloody hell, what have I done now? Big up Fusion is not Jazz. Big up, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. No surprise it says who played one-time pass that led to Gyokeres' goal. His time are so selfish and self-centered. Yeah, exactly. Especially Bukayo Saka. 100% based on how selfish he is. He has some goal-scoring clauses in his contract that he gets like extra 50 grand or something like that if he scores a goal. Has to be. Because there are no reasons why he takes a shot when he has perfectly good opportunity to pass ball to Gyokeres, to Martinelli, or to whoever to tap it into the empty net. There's no other excuse. Yeah, I'm good. Gyokeres should be a few goals against Wolves on Saturday. He should have few goals against Brentford, few goals against Brugge, few goals against Sunderland. All these games where he could have a few goals. Few goals against Burnley and everything. And we always say this: Gyökeres should get few goals against this, that, and the other. And at the end of the day, he doesn't. We are lucky if he gets some sort of a shot on target or on goal at all, and then he gets subbed off. Somebody else comes on, Merino, Jesus now in the last game, or someone, and he does 10 times better. Like, make that make sense. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I live in the capital. Let's be fair, most of the team will succeed. There's a big possibility of that. There's a very big possibility of that. Because players cannot be as bad as they're showing right now. What players like Gyökeres, you think? What do you mean? What do you mean, Ryan? What do you mean? Yeah, Vanieri is staying. Go back in your hole. Vanieri is staying. Yeah. The team played different with each of us. Marino included. Gyökeres is the worst of the four. And that is the nuts part. We play kind of similarly, more or less, with Havertz or Jesus up top. Merino is a bit different, but again, we play kind of similar when we have Havertz or Jesus up top. Gyökeres is the only out-and-out number 9, and we don't play to him whatsoever, to his strengths whatsoever. And somehow, the actual number 9 in our team looks like the fourth-choice striker behind players who actually are not. Like, that doesn't compute. Let's be real. That doesn't compute with me. That doesn't compute with me at all. To a very high degree. To a very, very high degree. Give me a second. For fuck's sake. But yeah. Would rather have him than Merino, Jesus, Havertz. That's the nuts part. I would if we played proper football to his strengths. That's the nuts part. I'm still backing Gyökeres, don't get me wrong. Because this 95% is on Mikel Arteta. Let's be real. But at the end of the day, we look better when Gyökeres. I'm still backing Gyökeres, yeah? But at the end of the day, Gyökeres is the odd man out. We look better when we are going forward without Gyökeres, when we have Havertz or Jesus there, whether you want to admit it or not. That is the case, ironically enough. Yes, we still struggle many times, but we look better then. That is how nuts it is. Jesus had 3 good chances yesterday. 1 hit the bar and the other 2 were pillow-foot shots, yeah. But it's going to take him some time since he's been out for what it feels like a century pretty much, right? At the same time, right, in these 3 shots, better than Gyökeres's at the end of the day. Gyökeres had a header, which got caught easily, and I think 1 more shot. But overall, yeah, Jesus' shot that hit the bar was the way he created the space and the chance for himself, was something we haven't seen at striker for a long time. Let's just put it that way. On top of all that, he did more with that 1 chance than Gyökeres has done in the last few games overall. Like, that is the insane part. Oh, but he took defenders off, the less pressure on wingers. 60 million for a striker. I don't want to buy a striker just for the sheer reason to take off the pressure. You buy a proper out number 9 who scores almost 100 goals in 2 seasons for you to bag goals. I don't care what anyone says. Don't give a damn. Pirlo, Bonita, pretty much. They were useless powered shots, but they were. 15 minutes, he manufactured 3 chances. Gyökeres chose to fight. Yeah, exactly. That is the big. That is on Gyökeres. But you cannot blame also only Gyökeres. 95% of Gyökeres on Gyökeres' misfortunes at Arsenal is on Arteta. because Arteta doesn't play to his strengths. The system, the style is not for Gyokeres. Yes, it's on Gyokeres that he rolls around like Raheem Sterling or Ashley Young in United days, right? At the same time, you don't do that unless you are instructed to do so. This cannot be. A guy who is so physically built can literally be blown over with a gust of wind. Yeah, because Jesus has more technical ability and Gyokeres doesn't have that one bit. The problem is that Gyokeres shows what's wrong with this system, and Arteta does not want to admit he's human and change it. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, it's the same goes with Havertz and all these players, especially Havertz as well. Because for Arteta, for example, to drop Odegaard for Eze, he has to admit that he got it wrong with Odegaard, with the captain. Same last year. That's why Ranieri also didn't play in the 10 when Odegaard was out pretty much at all. Because then Arteta has to admit that if Ranieri has good games, there are no reasons for Odegaard to play. And for a 16-year-old to push out the captain of Arsenal out of the team, Odegaard looks like a fool, and Arteta looks 2 times the fool at the end of the day. We look better with Declan Rice as the captain. Yeah, 100%. Havertz, Jesus all had their chances and failed many times. Team should be playing for a new number 9, Arteta. He is the problem, 100%. 100%. But despite all that, we look better with Havertz or Jesus up top than we do with Gyokeres. But that's the sad part. Waste of a signing that Gyokeres is. Sorry. Well, feels that way. When Gyokeres misses a sitter after sitter, then we will reserve my criticism. Exactly. If Gyokeres would be missing the chances that Havertz missed last year from 5 yards out, 3 yards out, 6 yards out, and all this, it would be a different story. But he doesn't, because he doesn't even get those chances at the end of the day. And let's be real, as soon as he misses, he will get one chance at a random game where he basically, it's empty net and he's going to miss it. Whole fan base instantly, well, not whole, big part of the fan base instantly will say, drop him for Havertz and Jesus. Make him hold the bench. He's useless. Because also a big part of the fan base didn't want Gyokeres here in the first place. They all wanted Šeško. Gyokeres barely has a pass to him for him to miss a chance. Yeah, exactly. Waste of time. If we knew Arteta gonna be here and doesn't want Gyokeres to begin with, then why even bring him at the club knowing his style of play doesn't suit Arteta's system? Exactly. And that is the nuts part overall, because when we signed Gyokeres, for me, there was a slight hope that Arteta would change his ways. Arteta would wake up. He would change the style, the system, and everything to help Gyokeres, to help the team push forward. But so far, we have seen none of that. 1-1 against Burnley at the end of the day means nothing, because that can, again, be just one-off. It absolutely means nothing. Basel equalized, yeah, 1-1. Porto have scored against Malmo as well. We got the fans saying Nelly is the new Henry. Just relax with that. But yeah, try Martinelli at striker. What's wrong with that? We could have 5 strikers. When Martinelli drifts in the middle to play like a striker type of role, secondary striker, he's actually very good. He's very useful and he's very dangerous in those areas. But yeah, that's another story. To me, even if we don't win any trophies, the owner's going to keep Arteta at the club anyway. They don't want to win. Yeah. To some degree, I believe that. Stan Kroenke said himself, they didn't buy Arsenal stake to win trophies, right? The slight hope I have against this is the fact that Josh is running Arsenal to a very big degree at the moment. And you don't sign Andrea Berta, you don't change the headroom stuff, you don't sign like Michelin and everything just to back Arteta. You do that if you want to win. You get one of the best GMs, one of the best sporting directors in the business. If you start to make major changes, manager is the next. That is my hope, because it feels like they're running it similarly like they do it in the USA with the franchises of NBA, NFL, and all this. They're making them very, very similar. And the manager is the last one to leave. And the sporting director, aka GM, picks the next manager together with the staff, with the big ones, with the big heads up there. Could be the case. Now this, yeah, I think Berta is here to bring in a new manager. Not me. I never wanted Sesko in Arsenal. Same. I never wanted him at Arsenal. Why big part of the fan base thought that he would be good at Arsenal, I have no idea. Genuinely no idea. Let's be real. Battle disallowed. Okay. I believe it when I see it. Yeah, to be honest, true. We can all believe what we want until actions speak louder than words at the end of the day. Let's be real. And until that happens, well, let's be real. It's nuts. I hope so. They feel like they can generate some other excuses for this manager in order for him to get another year. There could be that. There definitely could be that. Something in those lines. If, for example, Mikel Arteta doesn't win anything, but he gets, let's just say, to a final in Champions League, for example, right? One step further, as Mikel said. Every year, try to get one step forward. One step forward for FA Cup is the 4th round or 5th round. Yeah, that's difficult. Carabao Cup, last year semi-finals, one step forward. This year is a final. Champions League, last year semi-finals, one step forward. This year is a final. Premier League finished 2nd 3 years in a row. One step forward for the last 3 years should be, yes, winning the title. And if that doesn't happen, well, goodbye. Yes, we do look better with Havertz and Jesus because they are basically midfielders. Exactly. They have the link-up play. They have the technical ability. They have the passing, which Gyokeres doesn't. And that is the biggest drawback in all of this because we saw how Arteta wants to play to a very big degree in 22-23 season. And he obviously changed that to defensive one. But the attacking kind of blueprints partially were left there. With the false number 9, with the midfielder in the number 9, with good passing, so for the ball distribution and creating abilities. And Arteta has stuck to that like stink on cheese. If Arteta stays up after failing to win Prem and or UCL, then the club is dead. Yeah, definitely. Arteta's new name is Pennywise, the most destructive evil in history. He's damager, not a manager. Yeah, to some degree. That is the nuts part to a very big like people want to say that Mikel Arteta saved Arsenal from a mess. And he did. It wasn't as big of a mess as people want to basically make it out to be, but he did save us from a mess. He stabilized the club, he stabilized the system. The thing is, though, there's a very fine line between genius and insanity. And we are in that insanity territory. On top of that, Arteta now, if he saved us from some issues, Arteta has become the issue. And from that, saving is only up to the hierarchy up there at the end of the day. This board is a joke, honestly. They only care about merch and fashion. Like the new board, it's a very weird one, like movie makers and actors and crap like that. But what changed and everything, like it's weird. Really hope he's replaced. I can't take this as the club. Yeah. If my chicken shop tender display an attitude to me, I complained already, but the tender is still there. The tender is not the issue. It's the fact. Yeah. At the end of the day, yeah. Customer is always right, as they say. The customer for Arsenal are we, the fans. And unfortunately, most of the fans want Arteta. They want this. And that's how Kroenkes are going by it. Basel equalized. Fenerbahce about to go 2-1 up. 2-0 up. Porto 2-0 up on Malmo. What else is new? Nothing. Strasbourg scored against Aberdeen. And Liverpool's women's team are losing 3-0 to Aston Villa women's team. Insane. Roma about to go 2-0 up on Celtic as well. That's why. How can you have a striker like Gyokeres and use him in this way? That's football crime, Arteta. Yeah, exactly. It feels like a football. It feels like a crime against football when you have that type of a striker and you just utilize him well backwards. The whole attack in general for Arsenal is somehow backwards. Unbalanced, wrong positions, wrong situations. And the worst part is like it feels like nobody sees it. Part of the fan base can see it. One part of the fan base, a minority of the fan base. Feels like Arteta doesn't see it. The rest of the fan base doesn't see it. God knows what the ownership sees, because as far as I can tell, they're never here. But if I had to choose between Arteta and Emery, I still go with Arteta. Sorry. I get that. But overall, I'm not gonna lie. I would take Unai over Arteta if Unai got the same patience, same backing. I'm gonna say you this much. But he was doomed from the get-go. Coming in as Wenger's replacement was never going to work long term. Fans very quickly turned on him. Nobody was complaining when he went with Mustafi at center back, 21 games unbeaten. Nobody was complaining then. But straight afterwards, it kind of went on a downslope. Emery didn't get the players he wanted, and that's about it. Yeah. He's such a wannabe. Pep bro wants to do what Pep does so bad. It's not like Arteta wants to beat Mr. Miyagi in his own game. You know, wax on, wax off type of shit and all this stuff. Arteta wants to beat him in that. Good luck with that as well, by the way. That is the point. Emery has proven track record after getting sacked from Arsenal. He went to win Europa League. Like, imagine Emery, right? With 1 billion. 6 years, same patience, same backing. Like, come on, man. Wing back, right wing back, inverted defensive striker, and all this. Yeah. Gyokeres has made so many great passes to his teammates, especially in Burnley game. Like, that one Burnley half, that's all Gyokeres has at the moment. And that goal against Leeds when he had that long ball from Calafiori or Eze, when he basically attacked with speed like a steam locomotive on defenders and scored near corner. That is the Gyokeres what we need to see at the end of the day. That is the Gyokeres we want and we need. But one half against, let's be real, Burnley, to lack of a better word, means nothing. Like, if Gyokeres would do that on a consistent basis, then we could talk. But one half before he gets injured kind of means nothing to some degree. It should be the other way around. Everything's our attack. Yeah, our attack is definitely backwards. Emery never had the backing. Yeah, never, from anyone. He was working under Sanlechia and Mislensat at the good old days that brought in players he did not want. Yeah. He wanted Fabinho, he got Torreira. He wanted Zaha, he got Pepe. Just because favorable terms. Wouldn't be surprised if we are still paying off Pepe's installments, to be honest. Arteta should have been sacked from... Yeah, true. As well, true. Even if you give him 1 season, you come short again, you ball it with 2 points, you still should be sacked as well. Rushing Saka back and everything, playing Rice with broken toe, Odegaard plays full 90 when he's not even fit to play one single game, when he goes to Norway international break and Norway medical staff just laugh him out and send him back to Arsenal. And then Odegaard, to fix the situation, comes out and says, well, I have to listen to my body. My body is not ready. And all this stuff. No, you didn't. Don't lie. You played full 90, half injured against Chelsea. You went to Norway national team and they just sent you back. Now Saka is finished, can't assist, shoot, or do anything anymore, bro. Has ruined an academy time. That is that is complete different discussion. We can have another day, 100%, because that is another rough one, which is a very, very painful. Let's be real. At the end of the day, that should be the case. But ultimately, right now, right? We have Gyokeres. Jesus is back. Havertz is going to be back in a week or so. Maybe sooner. Who knows, right? Still have Merino for striker. What will Arteta do? What will Arsenal do with the striker situation right now? Because this is a problem. Like, this is a problem. Because you just know that Havertz is going to be the main man up top. Jesus looks like he's going to be the number 2 guy. Gyokeres, best case scenario, is going to be the 3rd choice striker. It feels that way. You cannot help it but feel that way. Also, reasons like there has to be something to it that Chidobe Martin left, Balogun left, Biereth left. None of them pretty much got chances at Arsenal. They all were sitting behind behind Havertz or Jesus. Nobody gave Arteta didn't give them a sniff of a chance. Something is wrong there. Something definitely is wrong there. And it stinks. Crazy, we win the match. Following day, we are debating. And yeah, that is the case. And that, unfortunately, that is the case with Arsenal. Like, it's not all fine, dandy, and rosy, no farting rainbow, shitting Skittles, and all this stuff. None of that. Because you would expect much more. Let's just put it that way. It's been 6 years. You would expect much more with all the backing, all the money. You have a proper number 9. You don't play him as he should be played. You don't play to his strengths. And now you're looking at this and thinking, well, what the hell are we even doing here? Same, to be honest, goes with Eze. Why Arteta wants to make him a touchline winger on the left? God knows why. As soon as Odegaard is back, he gets shoved to the left wing. Lucky if he stays there when Trossard comes back for injury. Lucky if he stays there. Let's be real. He could be just easily come off the bench. Because, bro, the result doesn't even matter. We are not winning anything come season end. Yeah, that is the big thing. Bayern will beat us up next time. And that is the worrying part. Like, for me, the biggest worry is that we beat Bayern. Everyone's happy, dandy. We finally got over the hump and all this crap. We're going to face Bayern Munich in knockout stages. They're going to beat us. It's going to be something similar like we had against, what's-its-face? PSG last year. We beat them comfortably, 2-0. Yes, 2-0. But we destroyed them at home. They did nothing against us. Came to crunch time, semifinals, Champions League, they annihilated us. Oh, but they didn't have Dembele. They didn't have Kvaratskhelia at Emirates. Okay. You think you would be prepared for that? You had a chance to sign Kvaratskhelia, by the way, and you just didn't. You just didn't want to sign Kvaratskhelia last January. Saka got injured and everything. Like, I don't even know anymore. And Arsenal is just something insane. There should be studies in Harvard about Arsenal, 100%. Rice is so overplayed. I'm tired, but Broma's tired and carrying defense midfield, and he's black. He doesn't get rested, plays 24/7. Rice most definitely is injured. Rice is injured. Allegedly. Because Vigilante sent me, big up Vigilante as well. He sent me a clip on Instagram. The game which game did Rice get subbed off? Which game did Rice get subbed off? Which game did Rice get subbed off? I forgot. Which game was it? One of the latest ones. And it wasn't against Chelsea. I think it was Brentford or something. There was one random game in the last 3 games or so when he got subbed off because he had cramp or some crap like that on his right foot, right? And when he came off the pitch, there's a video clip, right, filmed by the fans, where when he has the knee sock, the socks, right, pulled down a bit, and his whole leg up to that level, a bit lower than the sock level, is bandaged up. His ankle as well looks a bit bigger than it should be. Let's just put it that way. So I wouldn't be surprised if Declan Rice is carrying some sort of an injury already. One of our defense gets carried by Saliba and Gabriel alone, and the Raya is a fraud without Gabriel and Saliba. Like, for me, this is the nuts part. Gabriel and Saliba, people say carries our defense. And fair plays they do, right? To some degree, they do. Best defense in the league, 2 years in a row, Raya 2 Golden Gloves, and all that stuff. We don't have them right now. Saliba might be back, but it's a bit different story. We still can manage to survive. Yes, we concede more shots. Yes, they are more threatening other teams to us. But we still manage to get the job done. So the defense is not an issue. It's very evident. The attack is the issue. And the midfield, if you add to that. So at the end of the day, how come you haven't figured that shit out still? You need another billion to figure that one out? because it was the same last year. Defense carried. Year before that, defense carried. Attack was struggling. That was the issue there. Trossard, our best attacker. To some degree, yes, one of the arguably most clinical finisher in our team. Why didn't we sign Kvaratskhelia when he... No idea. Genuinely, no goddamn idea. Arteta in interviews always preaches, we look for the best solutions in the transfer market. We wait for the opportunities. And when it came to actually being there to sign Kvaratskhelia when he was available for, 67 million euros? Or something like that? What did Arsenal do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That was our left-wing position sorted for the next 5-6 years. Without shadow of a doubt. And he did nothing. Yes, we didn't have sporting director back then, by the way. Let's not forget, Edu was sacked and Edu left, and we had Jason Ato, the baked potato there, and Alberto came in after the transfer window. Might be by design, who knows? But ultimately, yeah. I'm also very curious about the rumors where Andrea Berta, right, when he had the list for Arsenal's number 6s, Zubimendi was quite low on that list before this summer when we signed him, where he envisioned Arsenal's number 6s. For me, the big question is, who for him was above Zubimendi for that number 6 spot? Because there are some articles, some rumors, and in the Arsenal rumor mill floating around on Reddit and stuff like that, that Andrea Berta is not a big fan of Zubimendi. He wouldn't have signed him if he had the chance. It was the Chelsea match. Declan had his right angle strapped up. Shane Gooner got sent the vid from somebody at match. Yeah. Vigilante sent me it, and I think he sent it to Shane as well. It's the same clip. Yeah, he sent me that one. It's actually insane if you think about it. It's hella insane, to say the least. So go figure. Definitely go figure. Totally with you there, Sean. Don't see us winning. Yeah. 14 draws last season shows that it's not a case of the striker, more of a case of Arteta negative style of play. Yeah. It's more a case of lacking in the attack than anything. Rice is carrying the midfield. Yeah, he is. He is carrying. And if he goes out, might as well pack it up to a very big degree. Last season, none of our attacking players cracked the 10-goal mark or something like that. Yeah. The highest goal scorer was, I want to say, Trossard with 9, something like that. I think Trossard had 9, Martinelli had 8, Havertz had 7 or 8 as well. And this was the first time in 105 years of in Arsenal's history, for the first time, none of the players at Arsenal cracked the 10-goal mark. First time in 105 years. Over a century, you know. You know how nuts that is? To make things worse, Saka had 13 assists when he got injured, right? He came back from the injury, and nobody was even close to the assists for Bukayo Saka. Nobody was even close still. So what the hell did we do for all this time? Where were the goals? Where were the assists? Obviously, it doesn't help when Havertz misses from 2 yards out, but that's a different story, of course. Yeah, this lopsided stuff through Saka only also mostly needs to finish as well. It needs to finish. We need to do something different. We need to spread the game around. And again, if we had Kvaratskhelia, most likely we would attack through both sides. We would be much more threatening. Let's just put it that way. This season, Sudan, our attackers have put up double digits, neither Saka or worse Nelly, and the person who doesn't get... Yeah. So with none of the attacking players cracking 10-goal mark last season, and now people criticizing Gyokeres. Yeah, exactly. See the irony there. Who are Arsenal's top goal scorers this season? Oh, holy crap. Arsenal's top goal scorers this season. You want to see? People, you want to see the stats of Arsenal's top goal scorers this season and top assisters this season? In Premier League, for example. You want to see? Big up, Havertz. Big up. Hope you're doing well. 12 likes, people. Please, if you haven't already. Yeah, smash the like button, people. Smash the like button, people. What about Merino? In Premier League... Holy crap. Here we go. Top goal scorers, English Premier League, 25-26 season. Top scorers on the left, top assisters on the right. On the left. Saka 4, Gyokeres 4, Eze 4, Trossard 4. And Eze has 4 goals, mostly because he scored a hat-trick against Spurs. Think about it that way as well. That's the nuts part, if you think about it. Look at the assists as well. 3 for Declan, 3 for Merino, 3 for Trossard. 2 for Timber, 2 for Calafiori, 2 for Gabriel Magalhaes, mind you. 2 for Gabriel Magalhaes. Top assisters for Arsenal. Holy moly, if you think about it. And this is Premier League, right? Let's go to Champions League. How many? 5 games played? Yeah, 5 games played. Look at this. Champions League, Martinelli is bossing it to some degree. Madueke is the second highest goal scorer in Champions League. Merino has 2, Saka has 2, Gyokeres has 2, Timber, Gabriel, and Trossard. Assists in Champions League. Zubimendi 2, Rice 2, Skelly 2, Trossard 2. Have you noticed that from all these 4 players, only 1 is a forward? Rest of them are defensive players, midfielders. Ironically enough. Calafiori has 1, Gabriel has 1, Odegaard, Eze. It's actually insane if you come to think of it. Where is it? FA Cup. Oh, we haven't played an FA Cup yet. Carabao Cup. Here we go. Carabao Cup. Vanieri, Eze, Saka, Trossard. Skelly has 2 assists. Saliba has an assist in Carabao Cup. Holy moly. Holy moly. If you think about it. But yeah, let's go back to Premier League. Four goals. It's actually insane. How many of Saka's 4 goals this season were penalties in Premier League? Let's check this. Let's look at this. Saka has 4 goals in Premier League. 1 was from penalty spot. 1 penalty. That's the one he took off from Gyokeres. Remember that one? That's the 1 penalty he has. The one that he stole from Gyokeres. For Bukayo Saka to get the 200 point or something like that. Remember? It's that one. Ironically enough, Saka also has 1 penalty goal in Champions League. If you're going to look at it that way. It's actually kind of insane. Bukayo Saka has 7 goals in all competitions, and 2 have been penalty goals. Yeah, 3 from open play in Premier League, yes. 3 from open play. That's the case. Yep. And Saka scored against Leeds, against West Ham, against Sunderland, and against Brentford. And which one was the penalty goal? I don't even know, to be honest. I don't remember anymore. I think it was West Ham. I think it was West Ham. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To be honest, Saka has played 13 games. Bukayo Saka has played 13 games in Premier League this season, and 7 of those games, he has been the captain. Seriously, he has been captain in 7 out of 13 games he has participated in Premier League. And in Champions League, he has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, and he's been captain 3 times. So more in all competitions, more than 50% of the time, he has been the captain as well, by the way. Holy moly, in it. Holy moly, in it. But yeah, at the end of the day, this striker situation for Arsenal is a big, big worry. Because if you can believe what media is suggesting and saying, that as soon as Havertz is back, he's the main number 9. And Jesus is back already, and he looked better than Gyokeres up there. It might be hella long. Hella long. Martinelli low-key looked better than Saka yesterday. He did. Martinelli in Champions League, it suits him better. Champions League for Martinelli suits him better. I know it's only Belgium chocolate makers, right? But still, you can only beat what's in front of you at the end of the day. Let's see what happens against Wolves. Against Wolves, it's going to be different, won't it? Attack injury destroyed Saka shooting. He can't even score from front yards like Havertz. And we'll see. We'll see. Saka still has something in his tank. Question is how fully confident he is in himself right now. Because it cannot only be physical, it has to be mental as well to some degree. Let Havertz come back at the main striker. Arteta can hoist himself on his own. Maybe. It might come down to that. Definitely could come down to that. Just like, we'll see, of course, but it's not looking good. Let's just put it that way. For lack of a better word and everything, it is not looking good, is it? Definitely not looking bueno. It's no bueno, and it's not looking. Crystal Palace, 3-0 up. Edin Nketiah, the king of Zamunda, has scored and assisted for Crystal Palace against Shelbourne. Seriously. Nketiah has a goal and an assist. He's Wait, hold on. I need to check this. Crystal Palace, Edin Nketiah. Edin Nketiah has scored 3 goals for Crystal Palace this season. 3 goals, you know. Seriously, Nketiah has found his level. Hold on. Just putting it out there. Nketiah in 9 games in Premier League, has scored 2 goals. To put it in the retrospect, that's basically half of the goals that Gyokeres has scored this season. And Nketiah doesn't even play that much. Nketiah has played 280 minutes in Premier League this season. 280 minutes. How nuts is that, to be honest? How nuts is that? Okay, go figure. Genuinely, go figure, right? Who knew? Who knew? At the end of the day. Who bloody knew? Ooh, Ferguson has scored 2 goals for Roma. Interesting. Ferguson hype. Remember when Ferguson was about 100 million from Brighton? Remember those days? It's actually kind of insane. But I think on Saturday, it's going to be very interesting to see what type of 11 Arsenal put out. Who is going to be at striker? I fully expect Gyokeres to start, but I think Jesus is going to play much more minutes. 100%. 100%. I don't think Jesus is going to start on Saturday, but hey, you never know. With this club, you genuinely never know what's going to happen. But time only will tell. Time will see. Time will see. Tomorrow, we're going to do Wolves preview. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about the 11. Arteta probably is going to conduct a press conference during the day, so we'll see how that's going to go. It's going to be a very interesting task. I wonder what happened to Ferguson. And Jamie Vardy was voted November Player of the Month in Serie A. Yeah, he scored some banging goals. What happened to Ferguson? I think it's the hype. I think he got injured as well. Didn't? I think Ferguson got injured, hence why he dropped off. To be honest, Ferguson is only 21 years old at the moment, so it's not that big of a deal. But he hasn't been injured that much as well. He missed 7 games, 13 games, 3 games. Like, he's not that injury prone too. It's weird what's happening with him. Big up, Gary. Big up, Gary. Hope you're doing well today, brother. Do your FPL teams before Saturday. Yeah, people, do your FPL teams before Saturday. I need to get on that as well. Haven't done it yet. Probably going to do it tomorrow. But yeah, I think on that note, I'm going to end today's stream. We had a very nice debate about strikers. Let's be real at Arsenal, because that is a topic. I think that's going to be one of the hot topics at Arsenal right now, at least till the January transfer window, especially once Havertz comes back. If Gyokeres doesn't start firing goals, it's going to be one of the hot topics in general. I also expect that some injuries are going to happen more, and that is something I'm not looking forward to one single bit, but hey, time will tell. Time only will tell. So yeah, if you haven't already, smash the like, subscribe if you're new. I'm going to head out for today, and hopefully going to see you all tomorrow for the Wolves preview. Peace.